My name is Beatrice Arinda, and I'm glad to talk to you about how to write a fundable proposal. I work with the CIV Ministry in Compassion International, and we are always glad to receive good proposals that are worth funding. So I'll start by talking about the meaning of a fundable proposal. It is a proposal that can be submitted and it actually receives funding because of its goodness. So it is very important for us to put effort in writing a good proposal so that when a person receives it, he does not return it or bounce it. So what is a proposal? A proposal is a formal document that explains the need for an intervention. It is a communication about the need for funding in order to change a situation. And it needs to be written in such a way that it is worth receiving, it is worth consideration. What I would like to say is that different organizations have different ways of writing proposals, and they have different templates. So for the sake of compassion, we are going to talk about the way the template is designed for us to include in what we are supposed to write. Yeah, so our template in compassion starts with the problem statement. That is the key thing that the reader needs to know. What problem are you actually addressing? And it should be written so thoroughly that it is easy to understand from far, because the people that receive proposals are not here in Uganda. They receive the proposals here from Uganda, and then they submit them to other countries. So a person who is reading this proposal from far should be able to understand the problem that you are talking about. And the problem should be factual. You should explain it in such a way that you show that it was actually a researched problem, and it is easy to trace, and it is very clear. And also the problem should be current. It shouldn't be something historical or something that happened in the past. It should be happening even at the moment. Then show the gap between the current situation and actually what you desire to achieve. For instance, if it is a proposal for income generation, you need to show the current earning for the caregiver and also what you intend to achieve when you have done an intervention. So what is the gap? That gap between the current situation and what you want to achieve is actually the problem. Then look at the impact of the problem. It's also necessary. If the caregivers are having low income, what is that impact on their household? What is it doing on their household? What challenges are they facing because of having low income? So it is important for the reader to know the current impact of the problem. And you also have to justify the reason why you are mentioning that problem. If it is addressed, can you make a difference in people's lives or in their households? Then after stating the problem very well, then you can state the background. The difference between the problem statement and the background is that the background shows the history. When did the problem start? How long has it stayed? How has it been impacting the people that you are intending to support or the target group? So the background shows the history, but the problem statement shows the current situation. So you need to describe it in a relevant way, in such a way that the reader will know how long this problem has stayed and the way it has been addressed. Since it has been there, have you ever had any intervention that you have carried out to address the problem? So that shows the background. The problem has been there for a long time, and then you are also showing how you have tackled it and then what is remaining. So the whole proposal is interlinked in that the problem statement is related to the background, and also the objectives come in to also address the problem that you have already stated. So the objectives need to be SMART. SMART means they have to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So under the objectives, you have to start by saying to address the challenge of low income among the caregivers in order to transform their household conditions of living. Then, after stating the objectives, actually the objectives should at least be three objectives, and also they shouldn't go beyond 5 objectives, because when there are too many, they are very hard to achieve. So ensure that the objectives are stated very clearly in verifiable terms. After that, you give us the indicators of success. How will you ensure that actually the intervention will take place and you will be able to measure and tell us that actually there is a difference? For instance, if it's an income generation proposal, in the future, shall we be able to see that really there is a difference in the life of the caregiver and her household? Will we be able to determine that there has been an increase in income? So we need to state indicators of success. And these ones should also be aligned to objectives. And I think in compassion, we have been given a simple template which we can fill with good information, and we are able to get funding. Then after stating the indicators of success, then you give us the solution. You started by showing the problem, but what solution are you suggesting? After stating the solutions, you then give us the implication of not receiving funds. In case the proposal is not funded, what is likely to happen? So it is very important to also explain this part, because you need to show that if funding is not given, then the situation is not likely to be good. Then you can also give additional information that you may not have given in other parts of the proposal. If you give good information according to the template that Compassion has provided, for sure, you cannot fail to get funding. But above all, when all has been said, you need to give us now the budget. The budget is the one that the funder considers so that he can be able to send us the financial support that we require to help the children that we are trying to market and also to inform the donor about. So the budget should be realistic. It should be having current costs. Don't give us a budget which you have just made just from your desk. It should be a marketable budget whereby you are giving us the current position of the costs and what you actually will apply in order to find a solution. Thank you very much for listening to me. Yeah, if we get another opportunity, maybe we can learn more about complementary interventions, but usually we use proposals to get funding, and that's how we're able to do complementary interventions under compassion programs. Thank you very much for listening to me. God bless you.